Hi, how are you doing? I just had a second meeting with a potential new client, and it's interesting because it shows you one of the downsides of running your own business and running it for a very long time. This person has been in business for nearly 40 years, maybe slightly over, and they have a retail shop, doing very well, hard working. They need to work, well, they work 6 days a week in the business, and the challenge they face is they're over 70 and the business is doing very well, but the type of business there is that people have to train to do the craft that's involved in delivering the service, and very few people do that craft now. And trying to find someone who would have the interest to take over the business, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard selling the business because there is a competition close by, but also selling the business for the value they believe that it's worth, and which it probably is worth to a certain extent. They need to find someone of a certain age bracket that has access to funding, which is another challenge. So, and their worry is, and they're right, their worry is the business maybe 10 or 15 years ago, the value was in the business and the sales and the business that I did daily with customers. The challenge now is the value of the business really is wrapped up with this individual, because if this individual gets sick or dies, God forbid, the value will evaporate within days or weeks, because if they cannot find someone to open that retail shop and run it daily, they're in big trouble, right? But their family have all grown up and they're living all over the world, and they want to travel to be with their family, and enjoy the money they've made, and because they make very good money, but they're in a situation where they're making good money but they can't spend it. And I said to the potential new client, maybe the way we need to look at it is we need to look at basically breaking up the business. There's a few elements of the business, including the sales, including the lease, and one or two other agencies that attach to the business that maybe we could sell off. You know, they didn't like that, and one of the reasons they're still trying to come around to that type of thinking is because they've been in the business for over 40 years and they see the business as their business, and they feel it's their baby that they've grown up, and that baby has developed and they've brought it from where it was zero to where it is now. But even though the business relies and has an awful lot of customer loyalty, one of the challenges is that if that business is closed down tomorrow because the owner got sick or died, that customer loyalty will go to the other business that is near it doing the same thing, because people will still want that service. And customer loyalty is great as long as you're in business, but as soon as you're out of business, your customer still needs the product and will go elsewhere. So it's a challenge, and it's a plan that I'm developing for them, with them. And I suppose the big challenge is this plan, and anyone looking at the business who wants maybe interest in buying it will also know this. They would like to get out within a year, maybe a year and a half max, because as I said, they're over 70, and they don't really have the time on their side to look at maybe 4 or 5 bids and then decide which one to go for. They don't want to actually stay in the business for a number of years after the business is sold, or even for a year or a year and a half, to hand over that customer loyalty and hand over all that goodwill that's been built up. They basically want to go the day the deal is done, and that's why the deal may be 3 or 4 deals, and maybe that's the way we may have to look at it. I put 1 or 2 proposals to them, so it'll be interesting to see what they think. But that is the downside of working for yourself. Sometimes when you're too long in the business and your business is going so well, and the business is you, at a certain age you need to realise you now need to hand over that business to be someone else, because if it's still you after a certain age, like after a certain age, it's very hard to hand over that goodwill. And also, if something happens to you, that goodwill can evaporate very, very quickly. And if you're in a type of business where people have to train to do that service, as an apprenticeship or something like that, it's even harder, because an awful lot of younger people don't want to work 6 days a week. That's the reality of it. They don't want to get up at 5:30 in the morning at certain times of the year and open the business at 6 or 6:30 and maybe work till 12 o'clock at night. They don't want that. And I can understand that, but they don't want that. It's a different mentality, and you need a real hard working, dedicated entrepreneur to take over this business. And there isn't many of them out there that really want to put in them type of hours and work those type of hours and put in that type of effort. And also when you put in that type of effort, because of the way the economy is evolving and technology is evolving and everything else, the service may be affected by that, by all those developments over the next couple of years, which means that all that hard work may come to nothing, and it's a big risk. So it's finding someone who will take on that risk, and that's going to be the hard job. All right, you need to talk to me. It's markbeggs@gmail.com. Look forward to talking to you soon. Have a great weekend. Take care.